Well, guys, finally we're seeing a real move from Bitcoin. Finally, we're seeing Bitcoin doing its thing, right? After a long time right now, Bitcoin did hit actually 68,000 USA dollars yesterday. Now is at $67,600. Is the bull market here? Is it finally happening? Well, it seems like it is actually finally happening, guys, right? It is finally happening. Maybe there is a chance, right? We don't want to jinx it, but the likelihood of actually now that we start trending higher is very high, right? So in today's video is very important, guys. Bitcoin is the main thing we want to be looking at when it comes to bull market, because this is where we are gonna start making money, right? Actual real money. Whatever money you've made this far, you're gonna double that by 10 times or 20 times or even 100 times. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about our favorite meme coins, Bread on ETH, and we're gonna be talking about Turbo as well, as it's pumping now, and see what's happening with it. Pepe as well. And we're gonna be looking into Kaspa as well, because Kaspa is not moving. Something is wrong with that. What's going on with Kaspa, right? We're gonna be looking into that. So with no further ado, let's get into today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So to be honest with you here, guys, we're gonna have two camps right now with Bitcoin. Some are gonna say it's not it. I'm not convinced. This pump does not look like it. I'm not convinced it's gonna go down, right? You're gonna have your people calling for $30,000 Bitcoin. You're gonna have your people calling for $100,000 Bitcoin. So it is very normal to see that, right? Honestly, it's very normal, and it all comes down to psychology, because the markets react off psychology, which is basically what all this is about. Some people feel their psychology tells them to buy. Some people, their psychology tells them to sell. Some people don't. Their psychology tells them to not buy at all or don't touch it. So why we have two different camps now in the space? Because guys, we've been here for a long time now. This been a long damn time. So this is 217 days and counting, 7 months and going towards 8 months, and it's a long time. So PTSD kind of thing now, right? When it goes up, please God, make it break out this time. And when it goes down, please God, please make it hold. And then you got your bears that missed the whole run up from 2023, that wish they can buy again lower, that wanted to go to 30K. So that's why throughout this range, when we come back here, when we get to the highs, people call for 100K. When we get to the lows, people call for 30K. So neither of those camps was right this far, right? Neither. So who's gonna win at the end, right? Who's gonna win? That's very important, because that's gonna answer our question. Is the bull market here? Are our meme coins and altcoins gonna start pumping finally? We want to retire, bro, right? This being a long journey. I want to get rich finally, buy that Lambo and sail into the sunset. Now the thing here is something new here, because you've seen in the previous video I've laid out some pretty convincing data to why we're gonna break out to the upside. Now today we're gonna have another one, right? So October here, remember this line here is October 2020, end of October, start of November. This was also an election year, Q4 of the election year. We've seen a pump on that again here, guys. October, this is the line, October. We might see again a pump heading toward the election year. We've seen that 3 times this far, right? 3 election years, 3 times we've seen pumps. So this is a strong case again why we're gonna break to the upside. Now I know, right? I know it's been a long time. It's hard to believe that we're gonna see finally the bull market. It is understandable, right? We spent 220 days in here. It's been going sideways for too long. PTSD. I can't believe this thing is gonna pump. I don't believe this pump, sir. I can feel you, right? I can understand, because it's been a while, right? And if you just joined in the crypto space, let me tell you something. For me, it's been a long time since I seen an actual Bitcoin pump, a true Bitcoin pump, since October 2020, right? It's been 4 years literally that I haven't seen an actual bull market. And by that, I mean, you would see this pump here on Bitcoin, you would think, but what about this one? Well, actually, this was a price discovery run, right? Like this is Bitcoin running above its all-time high and pumping non-stop. So this was not it, right? This was not it. And also, this is when we see the 100x's, the 1000x's on altcoins. It's when actually Bitcoin starts to pump above its previous all-time high and keeps pumping non-stop, because this creates FOMO, because people start to speculate, when is this gonna stop? It's just pumping, right? So that creates FOMO and everything, and drags everything up with it. So that's why we are really waiting for it, and that's what creates the altcoin season, meme coin season that we all want, right? So if you missed this pump here, where we made a lot of money as well, if you missed it, well, this is your next chance, which is this next pump we're waiting for now, like this one here. That's the one we're waiting for right now. This one is gonna be 10 times larger and bigger when it comes to gains from altcoins than the one we've seen in 2023 leading towards 2024. So that's very important to keep in mind. That's why we are looking into Bitcoin, looking at Bitcoin today, because that's it. That's our indicator to what's gonna happen in the future, right? So short term here, short term for those that like short term, what I do think short term is gonna happen now it looks like we're still within this triangle kind of downtrend on Bitcoin, but slowly we are forming higher highs, which is something important to keep in mind, right? We successfully changed this market structure, but now we're kind of here, right? So yesterday we seen, or 2 days ago actually, we seen someone GTing, spaghetti handing Bitcoin, right? Literally. And kind of there was a 4-hour candle, or 1-hour candle was a bit of a freaky candle. So you'll see it is this one here. It's this one, literally this one. So someone dumped a large amount, like 600 million worth of Bitcoin, dumped it here, and then the market kind of actually absorbed it and went higher. But now again, because there is a lot of doubt, PTSD from this range, now we're seeing the price kind of, this is the last line in the sand basically. At some point the bears are going to run out of resistance lines, but to be honest with you, we really need to break above 70k. This is it. This is where, that's it, right? There is no more doubts anymore in the markets, and the markets don't like doubt, uncertainty and stuff like that. They like certainty. So certainty would be definitely above 70k. The real altcoin season, meme coin season, is way above the previous all-time high, at least 20% above it, right? So would say like a 10% above it would be 80k Bitcoin, but I do think a 20% pump from all-time highs on Bitcoin, this is where we're gonna start to see the actual altcoin meme coin season. So this means Bitcoin $88,000, close to 90k, right? This is where we're gonna start to see the actual true meme coin season, because that's what's gonna start to create the FOMO, the price discovery on Bitcoin, the non-stop predictions and high predictions for Bitcoin drives the markets as well. So for now, this is what we're looking for. Just break 70k, then we're pretty much gonna remove a lot of the doubts, right? If we see a pullback, then 63k is next to hold, right? 63k is gonna be it. I do think this is it, right? Especially since this recent pump on Bitcoin, we did as well see a lot of inflows from Bitcoin ETFs, right? Bitcoin ETFs finally switching. Now BlackRock did buy around 288 million of inflows we've seen, and now BlackRock holds around 22 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? This is huge, right? And these are the whales of the world, not only crypto, right? They own now 22 billion worth of Bitcoin. They do believe in something, right? They have a plan. So we're here. We're just the little guy here, looking at them doing their thing, buying up Bitcoin, driving the price up recently, right? So if they believe in it, we damn well should be. I do think the chances of a breakout are very high. So that's important. We still got 14 days to go, right? People that are still on the sidelines might not like to hear that, but we still have only 14 days to start to see actually the true bull market happening, and even less. So when it comes to Bitcoin targets, right, to the upside, so this is the BTC logarithmic regression band. So this predicted the top and the bottom on Bitcoin for each cycle. Literally, it did predict that. Basically, when the Bitcoin price is in the green, you want to be buying. When it's in the red, you want to be selling. So now it's in the green. The lower band shows a $211,000 price target for Bitcoin. Even the non-bubble, so the red one is bubble, which means we're in a bubble. The green one is non-bubble. So even the non-bubble, you see there, the non-bubble upper band is $95,000, right? It's much higher than today, and will still be, even if Bitcoin is at $95,000, would still be in a non-bubble cycle. The bubble starts above 95k, or that's not even the bubble, but the bubble literally starts at 200k Bitcoin. So these are a 2x from here is 140k for Bitcoin, which is nothing usually. So what we did from the previous all-time high on Bitcoin to this all-time high, this was 3x, right? This was an actual almost 3x, 260%, right, from the all-time high. So from this all-time high, a 2x, which is 100%, right? A 100% pump on Bitcoin, which is a very minor pump. So from that all-time high, a 100% will put us around 140k Bitcoin, 138,000 Bitcoin. That's not a bad target for Bitcoin. So what this means, guys, if we do a 150%, which is almost half, let's say 125% or 130%, which is almost half of what we did here, it's a 160k or 159k for Bitcoin per Bitcoin. So that's accounting for diminishing returns. So this was 266%, this one is 130%, right? So those are pretty high targets. What this means today, right? What this means, well, if this is happening with Bitcoin, this means, guys, the altcoins are gonna go nuts. Altcoins are gonna go nuts. So targets we had before and previously are still stands, and these are very low targets when you look at that, like Pepe going for $50 billion market cap, let's say, which is almost around 10x from here. These are still all on the table, right, for Pepe. Now, if we look at the Pepe chart, right, it's pretty interesting because now we're seeing turbo pumping as well. And probably now people on the turbo side are wondering what's going on with turbo. When is this gonna stop, right? So we almost seen it hit $1 billion in its market cap, guys. So it went to 927. It was close. And actually, right, back in the days, back in June 12th, right, when turbo was dumping, I actually said turbo is playing the good old hype playbook, drops 60 to 70% hype, then run up the next leg up, right? And we've seen it playing out with turbo, right? So what's the deal now? We've seen it playing now. What's the plan now for turbo? What is the most likely scenario here? So what I want to get into, what I want to look at here, most importantly, is let's say this is the actual week where turbo is gonna pump the same way we've seen these 2 weekly candles on Pepe pump on Binance. And if this is the actual pump, then we're possibly gonna see another retrace back on, like we've seen this on Pepe. We've seen a 60% the retrace to retest the previous all-time high. This is very important to keep in mind. So I just drew this here as a resistance zone, and this is the support zone. And let's say if this is the top, right, on turbo, and it's just gonna range for 3 more weeks, because we've seen this the same way. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of sideways, let's say on Pepe. We might see the same thing, let's say 4 weeks on turbo, maybe another week up here. Where can it go and where can it drop, let's say? Now we have this one here, this green support. This could be this is also the previous all-time high on turbo, right? So this is gonna be around $600-700 million in its market cap. Then we can see the next leg up, which we've seen as well on Pepe here. The next leg up that sent it again higher. So this went as high as another 3x, let's say, another 4x, 285% pump. So from here, a 260% pump will put turbo around $2.3 billion in its market cap. That's not bad, right? Which is, right, a high number. When you look at it, it's 2.3 billion, but it's only a 3x. That's why if you're new here, right, if you're looking into new meme coin, fresh meme coins, you don't want to be buying anything close to $1 billion in market cap. You're just late. You're just late. This is more to update people that bought the dip here, 200 million, or are holding from the lows, right? I do think this is still possible for turbo at $2.4 billion market cap. Then we're possibly gonna see a lot of rotation, because this is also something I'm looking at comparing turbo and Pepe chart. When you look at it, since both are on Binance, what you see here is as well, Pepe is kind of preparing for a pump. It looks like it is preparing for it, right? Seen this breakout retest, and then it looks like it's gearing up for a next leg up. I do think if Pepe starts pumping, it will actually get some liquidity off turbo, like as more people gonna start to jump or rotate into the next runner, as they take profits from turbo to rotate to the next runner. And that's gonna be not bad, right? Around 2.2 billion. This is actually where we've seen Breton base topping, we've seen Floki topping, we've seen BONK topping, around that kind of price, right? The only meme coin, which is why everyone is onto Pepe, the only meme coin that actually did the biggest run is Pepe, right? Pepe did actually run towards $7 billion in its market cap, and now it's gearing up for another run up. That's why it's the strongest meme coin there. But that's a good example to see how strong Pepe is compared to those. So that's why I'm still big on the Pepeverse narrative, right? Pepe flipping Shiba Inu. You can see it in the charts. Pepe outperforming almost every meme coin this cycle. It's by far the meme coin that had the highest pump, the highest price, or when it comes to market cap, right? We're not looking at numbers in price, but in US dollars price per Pepe token, but we're looking at the market cap, because that's what gives you the actual how much or how high this coin did go, right? So actually Pepe did go to almost $7.2 billion in its market cap. That's actually by far this cycle is the highest. Pepe looks like it might be going for its next leg up, maybe $14 billion in its market cap, maybe another 2x from its previous all-time high, then another retest of the all-time high, then another one, or the last leg up. We might see a pretty strong lag on Pepe right after hitting 14 billion, maybe 15 billion, maybe 20 billion. We're gonna see something like a squeeze, right? As the altcoin season progresses, we're gonna see some sort of a squeeze. This is gonna be the squeeze that's gonna onboard most of the normies and new people, new entrants. They're gonna come into Pepe as it's pumping and it's changing lives, more stories coming for it, right? More headlines and all that. And then we're gonna see a long reaccumulation because of the price price, the higher the price pumps, the longer the accumulation. So that's when other meme coins are going to start to thrive, right? Meme coins that are related to it, especially that are going to start to thrive. And this brings us to Breton ETH. So this is the chart on TradingView for Breton ETH. So now it's around $30 million in its market cap. Recently it's seen this gigantic pump, which was an 8x, almost a 10x, and now it's reaccumulating. It's doing the same thing like we've seen with Turbo previously, and it's forming a floor here, which is important to be looking at. So it's forming a floor here. We might see something like that, like the price going back up here, then a slow uptrend for the breakout. Then we see another squeeze up, right? Slowly. I do think this is going, very likely going to above 1 billion, 2 billion. We're going to see something similar more to Turbo, right? Something very similar to Turbo playing out on Breton ETH. And I'm going to make a separate video about that, because when you look at also the start, because this is where basically Breton ETH is at right now here, right? Before the actual monstrous pump. So that needs another different video where we can compare the two. But here what we see is we're going to see something very similar to that, toward on its way to $1 to $2 billion in its market cap, right? Around there, maybe 3. We will see how it depends how high the Bitcoin is going to go as well, and how strong the FOMO is going to be when that happens. One thing I want to touch on as well, you see this breakout here on Breton ETH. It happened the 21st of September. So this really times well with Pepe breakout. So Pepe breakout as well was 23rd of September. 23rd of September, this is the weekly actually, but you see on the week, the 23rd of September week, we seen Pepe breaking out. We did as well see Breton ETH breaking out. It's just that it is stronger, right? So Pepe did a 40%. Meanwhile, Breton ETH did a 7x, because Breton ETH is following Pepe. It's the same narrative and everything like that. Pepe verse, Boys Club and all that. It's like leveraging Pepe on spot, right? If you think Pepe is going to do a 10x, then Breton ETH here is going to do a 100x, let's say, right? Because you're leveraging on Pepe here. I do think like Pepe at 50 billion, we could see Breton ETH at 2 billion, pretty much, because it's pretty much following it at this point. So one last chart we can be looking at now is Kaspa. And this is very disappointing to be looking at, right? I know a lot of people love Kaspa. I do hold some of it, not so much, right? I did buy a long time ago, right? 2023. But since it started pumping, a lot of people love it right now. A lot of people swear by Kaspa and stuff like that. So I do feel like updating what I see here in the charts might be interesting, or might interest people. So basically, because Kaspa depends on actual hype and FOMO and actual people buying Kaspa that are now buying meme coins, like Turbo is pumping, right? So Turbo is pumping, other meme coins are pumping, Breton ETH is pumping, we've seen Nero City all pumping and stuff like that. We've seen a lot of meme coins recently, SPX and all that stuff pumping. It did actually drive liquidity away from other utility coins such as Kaspa. That's why Kaspa did not thrive, right? So imagine if we were in a world where there is no meme coins, possibly Kaspa would be putting a new all-time high today, right? That's basically what's happening. So that's the main reason behind this drop. And not only Kaspa, so everything is dropping basically when it comes to utility coins. So when it comes to Kaspa chart, now I made a video previously when I touched on Kaspa briefly, and I said this downtrend here was broken, so we're most likely gonna go towards this downtrend here, right? If we break this one, then we're gonna go towards this support here, which is this horizontal support here on Kaspa, around that 1 cent on Kaspa, right? So that's the last line in the sand for Kaspa before the actual pump, if that is gonna happen, right? If Kaspa sees a run, that's gonna be it, right? It's gonna look something similar to this, a huge sell-off, right? As people start to sell it and disbelieve and stuff like that, then maybe another run. It's not gonna be a big monstrous run, but nonetheless, it's gonna be maybe slowly take out the all-time high, maybe a 2x from here, or 2 to 3x for Kaspa. Anyways, guys, that's the update for today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You can join my Discord, link in the description. It's free to join. You can as well follow me on Twitter, link in the description, and I'll see you on the next video.